Stephon Castle emerged as Victor Wembanyama's co-star this season.
You are Locked On Spurs, your daily San Antonio Spurs podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Happy Tuesday. Welcome back to Locked On Spurs. We're going to Locked On NBA Network. I'm your host, Jeff Garcia, Spurs writer for Kens 5 San Antonio. Glad to have you all back. And as always, thank you all for making Locked On Spurs your first listen each and every day. Bring available wherever you get podcasts, iTunes, Spotify, Kens 5 Plus app. Pick somewhere you get your favorite podcast. Just go there, look for Locked On Spurs, subscribe. Seriously, we are everywhere. You guys are the everydayers, and we appreciate that. Today's episode is brought to you by FanDuel. Right now, new customers can get themselves they can actually bet just $5. And if the bet wins, that'll get you $300 in bonus bets. Use it across the app. Download the app today. What are we talking about today? I guess we're starting off this week with Stephon Castle, right? Yesterday, it was all about Stephon Castle. We're continuing that theme this episode right here. And we're going to be asking the big question. Can Stephon Castle emerge as Victor Wembanyama's co-star this season? In other words, supplant De'Aaron Fox as the guy next to Wemby as soon as his sophomore season. We're going to do some numbers. We're going to talk about the eye test. I got fancy graphics for y'all. Hey, I'm trying, everybody. I'm trying. Right here on Locked On Spurs. And then if we have time, we'll talk about some fan comments. But yeah, all eyes are pointing to Wemby and Fox this season. That was the player that the Spurs invested with, the deal with Sacramento. This is the running mate that Wemby needed. But last season, we saw Castle really just come out. I mean, seriously. Even as much as he got knocked for his outside shooting, if you look at some of the numbers, and we'll look at that in a while, his numbers from away from the basket actually improved steadily throughout his rookie campaign. Now, we know, I get it, he's just a sophomore. De'Aaron Fox, he's a veteran. But if you project this out, could Castle just have a breakout season and be Wemby's new co-star and not Fox? Let's talk about that and more with our good friend from Raiders Digest itself. God, I'm glad to say that. I'm very proud of you when I said that. Raiders Digest. I hear that. Casey Viera. Make sure to follow him on X at Casey_Viera. Yeah, Casey did not know. You better know. But if you didn't, Casey's the new host of Raiders Digest, an NFL-themed Raiders show you can find on YouTube. Congratulations, Casey.
Thank you. No Broncos fans allowed. That is a joke. We're a growing channel, so we'll have a conversation about the Broncos or the Chargers. Not a lot game week, but yeah, it's good. Yeah, appreciate awesome. You having me. If only the quality of your guests matched your graphics that you got going on.
Oh no, my graphics aren't that great. I mean, I think a high schooler or 8th grader could do them. Seriously, look, We're not going to do a buy-sell game today. We did that last week, but look at these. Look, I don't spare any expense here at Locked On Spurs. I mean, look at that graphic, Casey. Look at that. Anybody can make that.
In fairness, it gets the message across. What do you need? You don't need no budget's tight. Budget's tight, dude. You don't need to waste it on something that gets the message across. Basically.
I always have the belief, like, fans, they'll appreciate graphics, but I mean, they really just care about the words spoken. That's always been my.
Hey, you know what? Another way to look at it too, with this podcast medium, people are, they're not, they're listening to it in their cars, so you're not seeing the visual part of it. And then a lot of the time, just have us open in a separate window. So for everyone's sake. If you're going with the store brand graphic package, half the people who are watching not even seeing it. So,
but if you want to talk graphics, though, go check out Raiders Digest. I mean, I've seen a few episodes, man.
I'm not gonna lie, they do it. Yeah, they do it. They do a good job. They do a damn good job. Yeah. That's the thing. If you're looking for graphics, but there you go though. Yeah. But that's the difference though. This is while Locked On, it has pivoted to YouTube. Yeah. It's still more all-encompassing kind of design. The YouTube, like if our graphics at Raiders Digest didn't look good as a YouTube channel, we'd be screwed. The presentation is half the value. So if they went up there and we went up there with that buy or sell graphic for 8 to 12 minutes, they'd be like that. Yeah. I mean, it's not It's like we're more reliant on the visual medium than you are. You know, for you, the listener just relies on your wit and charm to get you through for this 30, 40 minutes.
See, right. Exactly.
That's what they check in for, not to see the quality of the aesthetics.
Yeah, I'm going to try, everybody. I'm really going to try. But speaking of the black and silver, now about the NBA's black and silver, let's talk about Stephon Castle. And Casey, look, Stephon Castle's rookie season, wow. I mean, just, whoa, you're a pretty good guy there. He just really came out attacking that rim. Just that no fear on the court. His shooting numbers improved throughout the season. Not great, but they did show steady improvement. We'll talk about that later. And so much more. But with a crowded 3-guard lineup, you have Harper, Castle, and Fox. Many just default to Fox as, yeah, I mean, that's the guy the Spurs invested in. That's the guy they made a deal with Sacramento. That's the guy that wanted to come to San Antonio. He's the all-star. He is Victor's running mate. Got it. Yes, I understand that. But why can't I see slowly but surely as next season rolls on, and if Castle's going the way he's projected, some might think like, well, maybe it's actually Castle, not Fox, simply because, let's just face it, Castle plays a lot more intangibles, i.e. on the defensive end, and does Fox. Not to say Fox is a bad defender and led the league in steals one year, but it just feels like we're going to be trending that way this season. What are your thoughts?
Well, another thing too, the sample size is a lot larger with him and Victor. The sample size is infinitely larger, maybe not infinitely, but is significantly larger than what we've seen with Fox. I am not willing to go as far to say that next season is going to be the time where he'd supplant and I guess earn the co-star label. I think that's too premature. But this is the big reason why there are some skeptics about De'Aaron Fox's big extension that he got, because they're saying, all right, that's a lot of money that you're investing into 3 positions or 3 players into essentially 2 positions and all just kind of do the same exact thing. And that was the level of skepticism that came about when the deal was finalized. I mean, I still would have done the Fox deal, as long as there was no trade to it or anything like that. Then that's the only thing that would have gotten in the way for me. I think the Fox deal you had to do, but this kind of goes back to what we were saying, and we've been saying all along. Like, there's going to be an impasse at some point with the 3 of these guys, because that's just the way it works. That's just the way it works, the logjam of these things. It might work in the immediacy, the infancy of things, especially now with Harper being hurt. However, that's going to impact him in his rookie season. In the immediacy, I think it's fine, but the expectation, we all know, or I'd certainly get the feel that the inevitable will happen, and they're stuck with 3 guys in the 2 spots, and they only can really pay 2. And they're going to have to, in all likelihood, condense their asset at some point. That's just kind of by default. I mean, I think that's a conversation that probably happens 2 to 3 years from now, when you're trying to figure out and place labels as to who may be the exact co-star, to use the wordings for the sake of this conversation, this episode.
Right.
I just don't think that's going to be this season. I don't. I think there's still a lot. Stephon Castle was great last year, obviously, as the numbers indicate, as the awards would indicate as well. He was fantastic. I just still think there's a lot to see, a lot to figure out with this roster. Not to suggest Castle would regress, but you never know. Stephon Castle would not be the first rookie of the year to go out and have a regression the following season. So, and again, not to suggest that, but crazier things have happened in this league with 2nd, 3rd year guys. There's just still a lot of time that they need to apply to this to figure out what works and what doesn't. The Harper thing is kind of the injury. For me at least, kind of puts a little bit of a wrinkle in that process of figuring things out, because I don't think Harper, this thumb injury is gonna, derail his career, whatever it may be, for better or worse. No, I don't think so. But could it essentially derail this season? In the standpoint of trying to figure out who he is, what his game is, his jump shot, because that's been a criticism already. He's not much of a knockdown. You're not looking at Kyle Korver out there or anything. Does that kind of play into the process, his playing time, how they work that aspect out of it? I think that part of it probably puts a little bit of a wrinkle into identifying the Castle Fox side of things, because those two guys, they're going to get a heavy load of the minutes now, more than they would have gotten in all likelihood, or more significant minutes, important minutes than Harper would have gotten already, just because right off the bat, because of the injury. Point being, though, I think collectively all the way around, it's too early to place any labels on that. But I think that is going to be a conversation that we hit, in my mind, a couple years down the road. I don't think we're going to hit it this year.
Yeah, and what I got a couple of I don't want to say wrenches in the system, but more wild card things that could happen where that might happen as soon as this season. One, if Castle just shows out from beyond the paint and it just working in the offseason pays off, or he's a consistent, I wouldn't even say 3-point shooter, but at least a deep 2-shot shooter, that may change things. And also what may change things too is that the fact that Popovich is not on the bench anymore. This is Mitch Johnson's show. And if Mitch Johnson, does it feel like the old school works? Obviously, like, oh, no, we can't play younger guys. It's the vets that go out then. The numbers show it. Yeah, Castle, you're going out there. And I mean, it'll take a lot ultimately for Mitch and the coach that would be like, yeah, Fox, you're not the number 2 guy. You'll start with them, but
right.
My point is that I think those are two things to watch for. It's not Popovich's show anymore. It's Mitch Johnson. He's a young breed. He's the new breed, the new blood. He may see that as Castle may see that as an avenue to show out and just really become that number 2 next to Wemby. And of course, obviously, as I mentioned before, the open shot, because spots he's decent. He's not a bad shooter, but he can be better. But again, it's a conversation. You're absolutely right. It is a conversation this team will have. And, I mean, what would you rather have, a 5-6 year player on the long-term plan, or just a sophomore on a long-term plan with Wemby? And that's what it really boils down to ultimately. But you know what? Let's look at some numbers. When we get back, we look at some of the numbers.
The graphics you've been hyping up.
Yeah, the graphics that they were so easy to make here, but y'all see how horrible they are. In just a few minutes, as we're talking about De'Aaron Fox, Steph Castle, and Victor Wembanyama. Coming up next right here on Locked On Spurs.
Hey, let's talk about Monarch Money. Most people can't name their financial accounts or even know what they're worth, whether it's 401ks, properties, or investments. And whether you don't have the full picture, you can end up leaving money on the table. That's why there's Monarch Money. It's an all-in-one personal finance tool that brings your entire financial life together in one clean, easy-to-use interface on your laptop or your phone. Monarch is built for people with busy lives. If you've been putting off organizing your finances, Monarch will help you. How about this? Monarch does the heavy lifting. You can link all your accounts in minutes, see clear data visuals, get smart categorization of your spending, and finally feel in control of your money without ever touching a spreadsheet. Hey, can you identify that you're not saving as much as you thought? Monarch can help you. They'll give you a notice of insufficient investment allocation and discover forgotten 401ks from past jobs. Maximizing investments, increasing your savings rate. You can easily review your finances with your partner or financial advisor, keeping a clear view of your financial health week to week and long term. Look, don't let financial opportunities slip through the cracks. Use code LOCKEDONNBA at monarchmoney.com in your browser for half off your first year. That's 50% off your first year at monarchmoney.com with code LOCKEDONNBA.
We're back right here on Locked On Spurs, joined by Casey Viera, Raiders Digest very own host. Yeah, go to YouTube and search Raiders Digest, and you'll see that guy there in your screen. Subscribe to his show. He'll talk about that. he'll talk about that show. Just hey, and it's still black and silver, everybody. It's still, there's that. So get away from NBA's first talk. You want to do some NFL? The season's just underway. Go
see. I like. See, this is. I don't know if I should say, but I've always followed. I've always felt. There's a lot of Cowboys fans here, so they might not take too offense. I don't know. I've always felt.
I don't think Cowboys fans have any beef with the Raiders. So
no. Well, I was gonna say, as a diehard Raiders fan for almost 30 years now, my silver and black initially, silver and black was when I associate the silver and black is the Raiders, and so whenever I was on TV at Ken's, I would say San Antonio's silver and black. Because that's the Raiders fan in me saying that. But if someone commented and said the Spurs are the silver and black, fine. That's fine. I don't have an issue with it. Clearly, I don't have an issue with any aspect of it, as indicated by the Spurs ball for me. So
it would have been worse if you were Eagles Digest or a Packer Digest. That would have been that here.
Yeah.
All right, so we talked about the eye test about Castle and Fox, and could Castle supplant Fox as Wemby's co-star as soon as next season? Look at some numbers, and it kind of reinforces the fact that maybe not yet. But there are some very promising numbers. So let's start off with this one here, Casey. Just look head to head to see how they do. Here we go. There we go.
All right.
So
it's a lot. I gotta lean in here because there's a lot of colors and there's a lot of fine colors.
All right.
Well, for the viewers, I can close up look at my face. I apologize.
So you give that true shooting percentage. Now, for those of you who don't understand that's a measure of shooting efficiency that takes into account field goals, 3-point field goals, and free throws. So pretty much any type of shot on the court. De'Aaron Fox, see on your screen, is about 56% in value. Wow, Steph Castle's 52. Not that far apart separation there, Casey. That's where I go and say, if he can make that leap from away from the rim, away from the paint, maybe Castle can challenge from that spot as soon as this season. What do you think about that?
What's the number to the percent? Got it. I was gonna say
the percentile means like where he ranks.
Yeah. Got it.
Yeah.
Got it. Sorry, I got enamored with the numbers. One more time, that question.
So basically, the true shooting percentage, although Castle is 52% and Fox is 56%, that's a bit of a gap there, but it's not that. That's where I think that's the key to Castle right there, maybe becoming Victor's number 2, maybe as early as late this upcoming season, or maybe as soon as the next season, like 26-27 season. Yeah, look at some of the numbers too. You're looking at creation. All right, so basically, those who don't understand what creation means, it's a per 100 estimate of the number of shots curated for teammates. So basically, can they make space for teammates to kick it out and they make the shot there? Again, super close. You got creation value at 8.5 for De'Aaron Fox, creation value for Castle at 6.2, but nevertheless. Fox has that edge right now, 94th percentile in the league versus Castle at 84th.
That crafted OPM though.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That crafted OPM. Yeah, there it is. Yep. That's where it's that's where it splits off right there, doesn't it, Casey?
I just want to see because this, if I'm not mistaken, this what hold on, if you can go back to that real quick.
You want to go back to okay, sir?
Yeah, go back to that.
Or
either or. If those numbers for Castle, if I'm not mistaken, that's the full 82, right?
That's the full 82, yeah.
So I want to see, especially with the load and creation part of it, I want to see and I know you don't have it handy because it's a tough read. The games that game 41 and on. Or something like that. For me, that's a better variable.
Yeah.
In my mind. Because that's a whole half of the season. He was not a focal point of shot creation. And I think you're looking at the difference of a guy, you're looking at the difference of a rookie and a veteran, in which they were. The numbers are promising. I feel like the Yeah, I mean, I think the metrics are promising, but this is why I don't think that conversation about supplanting Fox yet is going to happen, because I think you're still looking at an unproven second year guy, comparatively speaking, to
Right.
an all-star point guard, all-star caliber point guard in this
Right.
league. I don't think it's going to happen yet. But
Yeah.
I don't the numbers are not. Fox doesn't blow you away with it, right? I mean, they're good. They're solid. The metrics are largely pretty solid, but Castle's in the conversation. I just don't think that's going to be something that
Yeah.
paths cross.
This shows me too. It's just, you're right. Yeah, going back to your first thoughts and just your overall thoughts, it's a little too premature, but they're promising. I mean, they're very, very promising. They're for not all, but some of these stats, they're kind of close. They're very, very close. I look at some of the defensive metrics again. Deflections 2.4 for Castle, 3.1 for Fox. He swiped at the Fox for a reason, and there it is.
Yeah.
You're looking at rim defense. I'm a little surprised by this. Fox is a better rim defender than Castle. I thought Castle was him being a bigger body and bigger leaping ability. I don't know, but yeah, look at this. He's a slightly better shot blocker than De'Aaron Fox. So it feels like Castle can, like you said, he can take that next step down the road.
It's not going to be this year. It's not. I mean, it's not. They've invested way too much into the Fox thing to not have it be anyone other than Fox. For many of
kind of easy ideas.
Yeah, I mean, Victor, right. I mean, it's the guy Victor wanted. He's the better player right now. There's the whole financial part of it that's going to matter too, where he's going to that's what they paid him to do. And they're barring any sort of wild alternative. It's not going to be otherwise for this year, maybe next year too, depending on what Castle does. I just don't. I think it's too soon to see that supplanting happening. Could. I just don't think and the numbers would suggest that as well. I just think it's too soon.
By the way, these numbers are brought to you by Fracted NBA. So just a quick heads up, and then this what you see on the stage here is by Stathead Basketball. So again, 531 games played versus 81. Yeah, still that's a small sample size in comparison. So, and also too, we're gonna see how Castle can adjust to maybe having the ball less frequently in his hand. Remember last year, he greatly benefited from that guy on your screen. You see De'Aaron Fox going out with injury. Love to have seen what have happened if Fox stayed healthy to finish out last season. Would Castle have had that push towards the end?
But that goes back to but that kind of goes back to only so many guys can have the ball in their hand in this offense, and a matter of who's going to be the facilitator, who's going to be the shooter, and who can do that. I just think another thing you got to consider too is that I don't know how many opportunities once Harper gets fully healthy and reps that Castle is going to be. I feel like they're going to prioritize more Harper at the one than Castle at the one. And I feel like what kind of helps is a little more advantageous if we're going to come up with the co-star narrative, is that you need the ball in your hand to do that. And if Castle's playing off the ball with the other two guys on the floor, I don't know. I don't know how that dynamic is going to work. It just seems like it's the way they have it kind of mapped out is that I feel at least is that it's going to be Harper operating with the ball, leading the point guard, at the point guard position with the second unit, and Castle will be more primarily off the ball. That's at least the vibe I've gotten. I could be wrong,
right,
but that's at least the vibe I've got.
I just want to bring this up one more time. I know you're saying, wait up, maybe as early as his third season that could happen. But does this change your mind? Just want to show you some stats. All right, sorry blocking your face out there. But
but this is what I was looking for. This is yeah.
okay, this is what I was going to bring up.
That's what I was
You
looking
can
for.
see
You had it queued up. Okay.
on his field goal percentage, though, it's a steady increase. I think that is the key to unlocking Castle.
But that's what I mean. But that's what I mean, though. Is he gonna, with Harper in the equation and a full season of Fox, though that volume is not gonna be there. Like the talent is there as the numbers indicate, but the volume, I don't know if the volume is gonna be there. Those numbers are inflated because the volume was there. One, because of Fox. Two, because of the trade itself, because Trey Jones was 10 minutes at that point as well. And three, just by the default of a rookie getting better.
Yeah. And not to mention Wemby getting hurt and
Wemby getting it right. And above all else, Victor getting hurt. Yeah.
Yeah. So there's that. But yeah, it's definitely something to watch for as this team continues to get back to the NBA mountaintop. But as we showed you right now, not all, but some of the numbers are close in comparison. I highlight that case just so like he's kind of close in certain areas to a guy who's a veteran, an all-star, and this guy just coming out of his rookie season. So that's good trending numbers, as you can see. But hey, maybe the follow-up episode of this one is, could Harper leap over everybody down the road? Yeah, because that is going to be interesting.
It's going to be an impasse.
Yeah.
The Spurs are going to hit a three-way fork in the road as to who is going to be the field. I'm over here, three-way fork. So I guess it'd be 1, 2. There we go. They're going to hit that impasse where they got to see who is going to be the true co-star, where to put the full investment into at some point. I don't think it's going to be this year, but that day is coming. That day is coming at some point for sure.
Absolutely. All right. He is Casey Viera. Follow him on X at Casey_Viera. Check out Raiders Digest. More on that in a bit. But hey, let us know what y'all think about this topic. You let Casey know, again, as I mentioned, at Casey_Viera. Let me know on X at Jeff G Spurs. When we get back, we'll look at we'll pick one. We'll pick one Locked On Spurs fan comment to react to. That's next right here on Locked On Spurs.
The NFL season is here, and FanDuel is making sure you're ready for kickoff with a can't-miss offer. Right now, new customers can bet just $5, and if your bet wins, you'll get $300 in bonus bets used across the app. You'll love FanDuel because it just fits everything you need. You can build a same-game parlay, do player props, jump into live action as the action unfolds. Make every moment more exciting, whether you're watching your team or just keeping an eye on your fantasy lineup. Quick, easy, the best way to add a little more energy to Sundays. Cowboys have started their season. Texans are starting their season, so might as well jump on FanDuel right now. You ready to play? Download the FanDuel app right now by visiting FanDuel.com to get started. That's FanDuel.com to place your first $5 bet.
And we're back right here on Locked On Spurs, joined by Mr. Raiders Digest himself, Casey Viera. Make sure to check out his show, Raiders Digest, on YouTube. All things NFL/Raiders. Go subscribe. He'll brag about that in just a few minutes. All right, up next is Locked On Spurs fan comments. I sure got time for one. So this kind of lines up, Casey, what we're talking about on this episode. This is from Nether2342. Kind of a long comment. I'll try to condense it as much as I can, but here we go. He says, "We have an all-star guard with Fox, an MVP candidate with Wemby, last season's Rookie of the Year with Caston, and the second overall pick this year, Dylan Harper. And fixed, I was kind of understand here, not having a bench not having any bench centers with former all-star, here we go, Kelly Olynyk, and Sixth Man of the Year candidate Luke Cornett."
Kelly Olynyk wasn't an all-star.
Former all-star. He says former all-star.
Kelly Olynyk.
We'll check that. Well, I'll check that up in a bit. But here's where the meat is.
Kelly Olynyk was never a former.
We're not.
Am I losing my mind? Continue talking.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let me look it up. I know it's going to bother you now. Let's see.
It is going to bother me. I can multitask. I'm a dad now. I can listen. Go ahead.
No way he wasn't. That can't be. I'm looking it up right now.
No.
What? How did we miss this?
He was not an all-star. No.
Hold on, everybody. We're gonna get to the bottom.
No. Kelly Olynyk was never an all-star. No.
No. Maybe he played in like some of those side events, like, hey, I'm in the All-Star Rising Game Challenge up there.
I mean, maybe he meant like All-American, because he was nice at them.
Maybe he meant that. I think maybe he meant this. Apparently, he made the All-Rookie second team in 2013-14.
Yeah, there's a difference between that. Anyways, yeah, Kelly Olynyk, Cornette are there, and then the first 3-4 things he said was right. So yeah, go ahead.
Right. All right. So far, sounds good. All right. Thank you, Nether, so far for the comment. Here's the big question: he says, if we're not in the playoffs, something has gone wrong. Thank you for that comment there, Nether. 2342. We appreciate that. Just want to check up the Olynyk thing one more time. But nevertheless, do you think with that type of firepower that the commenter left, and of course all the other players he didn't mention, but he still got Keldon and Vassell and Sohan. Hey, you mentioned Barnes, Champagny, et cetera, et cetera. We know where we're going with this. Is it a failed season if it's not a playoff berth?
Yeah, I think so.
Nice.
Well, I'm also doubling down because I think I said that on the show a couple weeks ago too. Because
we got to put on the All-Star Kelly Olynyk real fast.
I don't want to rub it in, but yeah. It's a failed season. In my mind, I think it's a failed season because they have the pieces, in my mind, to be a top 8 team. My gut right now tells me that they'll be probably finished. I think they'll host a play-in game, 7-8, somewhere around there. My thing is that margin for error between 4 through 10 or 11 is so thin. It is so razor thin. Like, you're going to see probably 4 games between the 4 or 5 games between the 4 spot and the 10 spot when things all line up in the Western Conference. And it's going to be ever changing all throughout the season. Clippers will be there. I don't know if Kawhi will be there, but the Clippers will be in that conversation. They have the roster to do exactly that and not win a first round playoff game or win a first round playoff series. But this team has plenty talent enough around it to be a top 8 seed. And then if you go out there and you get waxed by Denver in 5 games, whatever, fine. Like, it's a success. You haven't had a winning year in you haven't had a winning year in half a decade. It's a positive step forward. And I think they have the roster to do that, barring another injury, of course. But that's, that's kind of the exception. I agree. Because I agree with him.
Mm-hmm.
Say Netherlands. What was his name? What was the subscribers?
Nether 20. Let's say Nether. Just say
Nether. Nether got it right because I think it is a failed season.
Yeah.
And I got to double down because I said it a couple weeks ago, anyways, and things haven't changed. So I agree. Yeah, they got to be in the playoffs this year. Playoffs.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with Nether. I'm with everybody else that left comments on this topic before. They got to make the playoffs. They have to. And I don't give a bleep if it's through the play-in to get into this, the last 2 spots. They just got to get into the postseason.
How about this, though? How about this? What happens if they don't? Does anything happen if they don't?
No, I don't think anything happens. I think they'll run with the team the following season again.
You're probably right.
Yeah. Also, they'll default to their own line is we're not going to rush the process. We're not going to skip steps. They'll go with that line.
And any year that they have underachieved in the past during the prime days, they never really jockey things up anyways.
No.
I mean, when they got bumped by Memphis, it was 11-12 in the first round. They never really changed anything dramatically. When they got bumped by the Clippers in the first round, they never changed anything. I don't think they would either.
Yeah, I think they stay the same. By the way, I try to figure out maybe where the commentator was thinking like All-Star, where he may have gotten confused. So maybe he meant All-American. Kelly Olynyk was an All-American in 20.
That's what I mean. That's what I mean.
Yeah,
That's what I mean. Yeah, and he was good at Gonzaga. So
yeah, he was. You know what? When he was playing with Boston, and the Boston Celtics came to San Antonio for a game, I actually have an interview I did with Kelly Olynyk that never, ever, ever got aired. That never was even written in the article.
that's random.
Yeah, I know, right? I have this random Kelly Olynyk chat posting. Celtics were like, hey, talk to Kelly. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah. Celtics were like, oh, you want to talk to Olynyk? Yeah, go ahead. He's right there. And we were talking for like 2-3 minutes. And I remember listening back to that interview like, there wasn't really much said there. So moving on.
That's very random.
Yeah. I might share that story with him. This
1 week till media day. 1 week till media day.
That's true. Hey, speaking of media day, everybody, yeah. As a kid,
that's probably something important to hit on. Yeah. Well, we still got tired, right?
Yeah. Casey and I will be at Spurs Media Day coming Monday. Yeah. So we'll definitely have some footage there. We're chasing an interview with a player. We haven't got confirmed yet, but all signs are pointing to it'll likely happen. So looking forward to that. Also, you should be looking forward to is listening and watching the Raiders Digest. What is up with Raiders Digest, Mr. Casey? What's going on?
Vibe's not good right now. Vibe's not good. I mean, they checked out the video from yesterday, which you haven't. Now you should. And if you have already, thank you.
Yeah.
You should know the vibes are not good right now because anytime you go and you get waxed by 17 points and it felt like 71. Yeah, exactly. Thank you. I don't have the soundboard yet. Now I might have to do that too. Vibes not good. Offensive line not good. That's really it. The vibes in the offensive line not good. So if you're a Raider fan, and I know there are a lot in San Antonio, come check us out. Come check us out for a little bit of not self-loathing. It wasn't self-loathing. We do enough of that as a Raiders fan. There was yesterday's episode, and we have one today along the same lines. We're not feeling good. Not feeling good. Oh, great week one. I was like, oh man, this is it. We'll be in playoff contention. Chargers brought us back down to earth. I'm like, okay, fine. And then you go face the Commanders without their all-world quarterback, and you get rocked. You have just a turnstile of an offensive line to get to Geno Smith, poor guy. And I gotta. Now that I'm in the Raiders medium, I gotta find my way onto Lockdown Raiders with your boy Cubes.
That'll be great.
I would love that.
Yeah.
He does a great job.
It could be worse. He could be a Cowboys fan right now.
Yeah, vibes off there too.
We're very, very. I didn't wear my. I wanted to wear my Cowboys hat today, but I didn't. I opted not to. How do you lose to the winless? How do you lose to the winless Bears?
Caleb Williams looks good. Well, you lose to the winless Bears because your defense is trash. That's how you lose.
Do you see that one play where that one? I forgot the name of the guy, but that one Bear wide receiver just standing in the middle of the freaking end zone by himself. Nobody's around him. Like literally in the middle of the goalpost, just standing there waiting for the pass.
Yeah, that's why Cowboys fans should subscribe to Raiders Digest too, because we could relate because we both suck right now.
That note, yeah. Check out Casey's show, Raiders Digest.
See, here's good. See, this is good. You know why? You know why they should subscribe? Because every time I do this show, and when I was on Ken's, and before that in the San Antonio media, I have to give, and judging by my body language, just should suggest this sentiment as well. I have to give a fair, balanced take. I don't put opinion. I mean, I do put opinion, but I don't wear it as a fan cap. I don't go into it. I try to be as fair and reasonable and balanced and journalistic approach, whatever as I can. This, I have no shame. I'm a Raiders fan, man. I wear the goggles and I'm good to go. So I got the forum to vent. Shout out to the Digest family. Like you're a Raiders fan. We know there could be good content. Half the time you're irritated the entire year, anyways. Let's put it on YouTube and hopefully get some money out of the gig.
There you go. So help
if you're looking for the organic content not manufactured by the ethics of journalism and being neutral and biased. That's the spot.
There you go. Go to that guy, the Reader's Digest on YouTube, or just follow him on X. It's another way to get to it at @Viera. Casey, thank you so much for taking time out of your business schedule to join us here on Locked On Spurs. I know you'll be back next week from Media Day San Antonio Spurs edition 2025. So we'll definitely have some stuff for you guys. Again, Casey and I will be there. I'll give you the vibe. Hopefully they finish early, and they're good about that. They're good about that.
They're good. They're good now. So they know the media is coming through. You know the Spurs when they're there, they want to get in, out, good to go.
Yeah.
Call it a Monday.
So again, Casey and I will have an episode from Media Day 2025. So can't wait for that episode to come out and whatnot. And yeah, hopefully that player comes through. Casey knows who we requested, so we're still waiting for thumbs up. But all signs are pointing to we got the player we wanted. So, and I think y'all will be happy. I think y'all will be happy who requested. But nevertheless, Casey, thanks again. Yeah, hopefully more. Yeah. Casey, thanks again for helping us out here on Locked On Spurs on a Tuesday. We appreciate it. Everybody else, we thank y'all for making Locked On Spurs your first listen each and every day. Free and available wherever you get podcasts. You know where to go. iTunes, Spotify, Kensby Plus, and YouTube. Go do that right now. You guys are the everydayers. We'll be back tomorrow. I think we have James Pledger. Yeah, he's on deck.
Pledge.
He's joining us to talk. Yep, big old pledge there.
Big old pledge.
It's a very sleek and slick. He doesn't like to get big, bulky like this guy here. He loves to say slim and trim. So I always give him a hard time about that. So
right there with you.
I would do a nerd reference right now, but he would not understand. So I will leave you alone. Yeah. All right. Hey, he is Casey Viera. I am Jeff Garcia, and we're gonna put a lock on this episode of Locked On Spurs.